everybody. Back to our video. Troll me. Well, I guess I'll do the intro again. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm back on Skate 3. So my last video was just kind of an update slash telling you guys what I think is gonna happen in the future. And right now I'm just making a video just talking because I'm bored. You know, I don't know, like, life's been weird recently. There's been a lot of learning moments, more than usual, you know, just, I get it, like, senior year is a lot of learning and maturing, but, like, I don't know, I don't know, I feel like I've been learning too much, as a brown man that I know would say. I don't know, recently it's been so melancholic, you know, been very nostalgic and kinda weird feeling about the future. I mean, I've always been weird about the future, but like differently. You know, I go from being happy to like being fearful. I mean, I think that's common between my peers and myself, but I mean, I don't know. You know, I don't know how to put this. I watch all these like coming of age like movies and shit. You know, I always think, you know that saying that never happens. It never happens like in the movies. I've had instances lately like where I felt like, oh shit, this feels just like a movie. Like this feels, I've seen this somewhere and shit. And the more I like kind of realize where I'm at in life and kind of reflect on where I'm gonna be in the future, well, where I think I might be, I guess I should say, the more I get more melancholic and more kind of like these are the last years. I mean, even if I go into college, which is an if, I've kind of betrayed my future, with, you know, my past actions and even my present ones. I don't know, like I mean, college is gonna be fun. I think my 20s are gonna be not bright, but like it's not gonna be miserable. I'm not gonna be homeless or something. I mean, obviously, I don't think that'll happen, but there is kind of I don't know, there is a window of opportunity for that to happen, which an opportunity usually is thought as a good thing, but right now it's not. I don't know if I'm using that right. Opportunity, I mean, I don't think opportunity as itself is a good or bad thing. I don't know. I don't know if if you say that word right. Another thing that's been brought up to my knowledge, my brain-o-matic, you know, I don't know, like, I feel like I've been, I don't know why recently, of all things, like now, my senior year, maybe because I have more friends or something, or I talk to more people, which is weird. I've always had a lot of friends, maybe I just haven't been that connected with them. Summer was a silly activity, and the months leading up to summer were also silly activities, but And as silly activities, I mean like I was hanging out with people and doing more shit. Maybe that's just because I'm more closer with people, but I always thought I was pretty close with people as it is. I don't feel any closer with anyone besides like maybe 1 to 2 people. But maybe just like people are different now, and the people I knew are different from, I don't know. But what I was gonna say is that like I don't know, like I'll be talking to people, and I always thought I was pretty mediocre with a lot of things. I still think I am pretty mediocre. But everybody be glazing me up, you know. No, people be talking. I don't know, like I've been getting a lot of praise recently, which is very different from like I mean I grew up with a lot of praise. I mean, not to brag. I mean that not to brag always comes with bragging, but I always grew up with like adults praising me and like teachers and that. And some of my peers would also like say, "Oh, you're kind of smart and shit," which always kind of gave me that. I don't know if I ever had like an ego where I was said, "Oh, I'm fucking smart as shit," because I always knew people that I always thought were either smarter or on par. Maybe I surrounded myself with people like that. But I always knew I thought differently than a lot of people. Even like people that are smart, I still think I think differently from them, which different always means bad. I mean, I don't know. Like, out of all the people I know, I think I'm either in the middle of almost everything, of every topic. I could switch sides at any moment, or I'm just a really biased person that changes his mind a lot. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to feel. I guess I'm just a confused young lad. No. I don't know, life's been confusing, which should be the title of this video. Life has been confusing. I don't know if, like, I know a lot of the struggles that I've had are pretty common, and people get over them. They're not unique struggles at anything. You know, I did tell one of my friends, I think this is one of my infamous quotes. I don't have infamous quotes. These are not my iconic quotes. Utter Dysphoria's iconic quotes, 2015. Trademark. No, I mean, I told one of my friends because he's been dealing with a lot of problems. And I tried to help him for a while. I told him that all the problems you face have already been solved by thousands of people, or maybe less or more than that. I don't remember the exact quote. He just remembers stuff I say sometimes, which is so weird. That's such a weird thing. Like, I don't know. I give advice, and I, half expectantly don't think people will, take that at heart, because most people don't. And when it does, it's kind of like, oh, so you actually listen to me, because I don't feel like people listen to me at all. Just because the nature of human beings is it homeostasis? Yeah, homostasis, which is everything. Everything wants to stay equal and all that kind of mumbo jumbo. So people don't want to change. People want to keep at an equilibrium kind of shit. They don't want to change all that much because that sets off a balance. Or teeter. I don't know. Is that the right? I don't know. It unbalances their human being, and they have to. Their human being. It unbalances their self, and they have to balance it again. Because changing a person means you have to focus on one thing, which tips the scales, kind of. I mean, if we're thinking about scales, that's only like 2 things. But if we're talking about humans, it's a lot of scales. There's a lot of scales that you're focusing on. A lot of equaling out you have to do. But yeah, I mean, trying to fix yourself is very hard. Very, very, very hard to do. Obviously, if you put in the work, you definitely can. There's a way to do it. Sometimes there's things you just can't change about yourself. That's just like, those are really ingrained emotions and feelings. But there is a lot of stuff you can change. So if you don't like something about yourself, if you continually think about it and try to stop yourself from doing it, I think you definitely could. But it depends on what it is and the reason you are like that. Basically, all you have to do is come to terms with who you are, which is also very hard. You know, I change my beliefs a lot, and I think I'm unique in that way, that I think differently than a lot of people, which I was talking about. I know I'd be stroking my schlong a little bit, but I don't know. I don't think I can have just one perspective on one thing, and I still think I'm stroking my schlong a little bit too much. But from all the people I talk to, I think they keep a pretty consistent idea on a subject for a pretty consistent amount of time. People's ideals don't really change all that often. They like to be pretty close-minded, but I think I'm pretty open-minded, unless it's come to an argument, and then I usually, okay, so how arguments either go is, if I think I'm right, I will continue to argue my point until they either say I'm right or I think I'm wrong. And I guess there isn't two ways. That's just how it works. Like, I am pretty fair, contrary to many people's beliefs. I am pretty fair. When I think I'm wrong, I will admit I'm wrong. I feel like I'm pretty good at that. You know, I think the reason why people think that I don't admit when I'm wrong is because I don't make a big fucking deal about it when I am. You know, people are like, oh, fine, you're right, oh. No, I'm more like, oh, okay, cool, because I think knowledge is more important than, you know, your ego. You know, like, knowing more is good, you know, like, it's very, very important. You know, having knowledge is great, but making it like, oh, I know more than you, you're stupid. I don't usually. I had a thought a couple days ago. I think I was in the car or something. Someone was driving me somewhere. That's where most thoughts happen, is when you're in the car late at night while it's raining. And you don't have to be driving in that car. You could just be in the car. Trust me. Go, young philosophers. Go out there and philosophize all in that car while it's raining. Possible thunder, that's an extra bonus. No, but I had an idea that, you know, instead of, I have also another idea. Okay, we'll build on to this. So I mean, this isn't like the greatest. when I tell people this isn't like, I'll just say it first. Okay, I'll just say it because it's a band-aid I need to rip off, and then people can judge me, and I'll state my case about it. Morality is not a natural thing. It is based on, it's a human-made thing. It's a artificial thing made by humans. And, you know, you could say, oh, well, I mean, animals have emotions and, you know, like all that. I think just the human brain possessing so much intelligence, it makes its own rules of what is bad and wrong, and that's different from every person to human. And I had that while thinking about that. I think I was driving home from school. While driving home from school, I was thinking, you know, if morality is different per person, so what they think is right or wrong, and, you know, right and wrong is pushed onto the common person. I mean, not even common person, it's pretty much everyone, pretty heavily. Like, there's a set of rules that you have to abide to, that certain people tell you. I mean, if you think about it as in, like, more not general scope, more wide scope, instead of thinking on, I don't know how to put that. I don't know how to put what I'm trying to say. But basically, that more, it's such a weird thing. Like, people are telling you that you cannot do these things, and the only judgment is, or the only reason they say that is because morality, and it's bad. And I'm not saying that murder is good. That is, or anything like that. Bad things are actually good. Inverse. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm actually just saying that if you remember that morality isn't like a natural thing on the world, I think is an interesting thought experiment to involve with other things. For example, what I'm about to bring up, if morality is different for every person, I would say that intelligence is almost not even a thing, because everybody's brain works differently. So, and this is hard because this is a new thing for me. Okay, this is a new thought. Morality is just a human concept. That's an old thought for me. That's old utter dysphoria out here philosophizing and shit. This is new. I mean, I just think about this because I've had a lot of problems thinking about how like courts and how we um, fuck. I just forgot the word I was gonna say. How we judge people and testify, and how we put them in jail or punish them. I always thought it was so weird because there's a lot of cases where people's brains are, you know, you can plead insanity, which is a weird term because then you don't really have any punishment. You're sought help, which is weird because I think for a lot of things, if you think about it, a lot of cases where murder or domestic violence, it stems from your upbringing. And if your upbringing, can you really judge someone? Can you really judge someone uh, on them, on how what their actions are, if their upbringing and their things, their brain's completely different? Like, yes, right and wrong. You're not supposed to do this thing. Well, in their minds, they were brought up where that isn't right and wrong. So we're bringing up morality again. That is why it's so weird. Again, intelligence, being stupid and stuff. It's just, are you really dumb, or is your brain just working different? I mean, you could also say the brain, like less neuron activation and less neurons in general. That also might have a key play. I don't know. I'm not a fucking brain surgeon. I'm not a big boy up top kind of shit. It's a cool thought to have. Obviously, you don't want people murdering people and say, oh, it's, whatever, they murdered people, we can't do anything because, their dad beat them. Or, like, they brought up and said murder was good. Obviously, you have to punish them, but it is definitely a hard thing to do because you as a person are projecting, or not you as a person, you as a society, or as a society you are pushing your ideals onto a person. And like it conforms a lot of people into a box, which isn't really true. I'm not really in the case where like, oh, individuality is gone and all that kind of stuff, because realistically, we are of what, like, our experiences, we are what our experiences made us, and a lot of what our experiences are control, or not control, or influence by the media and people, and people are influenced by the media. So a lot of our things are influenced by the media and stuff like that. I mean, like, I think that's just a common thing. So if like the entertainment you watch, you're obviously going to be influenced by that, and the people that are making the entertainment are influenced by other entertainment or other stuff. So basically, your culmination of years and years and years of people ripping off other people, basically. I don't know how to put it. I'm not like, I don't know, I'm trying to be like a pseudo intellectual. I think it's just a cool thing to think about. I always like thinking about interesting stuff like that. I mean, I'm probably wrong about a lot of that stuff. As wrong as you can be about philosophy. Um, Probably a lot of that didn't make a lot of sense. A lot of gibberish. Uh, yeah. I don't know. It's when people are called stupid or they're weird. I think it's just the difference in like how their brains work. And I mean, a lot of brains actually, if we really think about it, brains work almost all the same, all around, but there are certain little things that are different about every person that makes them unique, quote unquote. And uniqueness obviously breeds difference, and difference is looked down upon, in some ways. I mean, inherently, if someone's different from you, some of that could be bad or worse. I don't know. The more I say like difference, the difference, I don't want to sound like those people are like, individuality is bad and blah 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 blah. I don't like setting myself into a box where you can just kind of say I'm like part of that thing, like you're part of these people. I don't really like doing that. I like having an open mind. I keep on stroking my schlong right now. Keep on like hyping my ass up. I'm not I'm not that crazy. I don't want to put myself that I'm better than other people, because I think that's can only be judged. I mean, we already have kind of a point system with people. It's not really a point system, but I'm better than this person because they do this, this, and this, and I do this and this differently, or I don't know. Like, it's the same thing. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about this anymore. I think I made my point, and it's a really complex topic to talk about, and after a point, you kind of get to, like, the same kind of thinking. That's what traps a lot of people. I think what people kind of take as fact is the majority consensus on something, which I think is a good thing if that majority consensus is right, if it's subjective. Is it subjective or is it objective? I think it's objective. Yeah, objective. If it's objective. Yeah, okay. See, I used subjective wrong. See, I'm not an all-seeing prophet. Please do not praise me. And if you do praise me, give me $50. It does a lot better. It does a lot better for me. But yeah, I mean, like, consensus on stuff. It's like, if it's objective, if 2 plus 2 equals 4, I mean, that's objective. You can't really argue that unless you go into, like, some crazy math shenanigans, which I'm not a big math expert, so I wouldn't really know anything about that. But like stuff that makes sense, and you can't really have subjectivity about it. I think majority consensus is usually the right way to go, but more on like pressing issues like I thought I heard intruders. Intruders are bad. On like more social issues and just overall like just stuff you can't really argue about. I mean anything. Like, people bring up shit all the time where they're like, let's talk about racism and let's talk about political shit. I mean, politics, you can't be right with that. There's no right way to do politics. I mean, even the system we have right now, capitalism, is flawed by itself. Obviously, it's probably a better system than communism, but, it's still flawed. You don't have a perfect, system for economy and stuff like that. There isn't perfect answers for that. That's why it's a subjective topic, in my opinion. A lot of people will be like, oh, it's objective because capitalism is the best way, and then there's going to be someone that says, socialism is the best way, and then there's going to be the weirdo in the back that says, communism is for the... I mean, every way you could probably make it to work. I think even communism, I mean, think about China. I mean, they're going okay right now. I'm not saying they're like it's awesome over there. I'm just saying like they're living, they're not like getting broken up or something. I mean, it just, I don't know. They're not in a war. They're not getting overthrown. I mean, there's some duct tape around there, but I mean, it kind of works. But yeah. Another thing I really think about is when I was younger. I think even like to a point now, which is gonna lead to my people are gonna think I'm a narcissist, which I hear a lot, which I think comes from the jokes I make. You guys hear my jokes. You guys know how I am. I make some. Okay. This is something I don't get. Like I don't know how you can get a tone of voice that is clearly joking, and then you get someone that says like, "Oh, I'm the best of all time," and then someone believes you. Like, do I just hang out around like dumb people or something? Dumbness isn't real. Their brains work differently. Okay, I'm sorry. See, that's that's why you don't think smart. You think dumb, guys. You gotta think simple thoughts, so your own line of reasoning doesn't get fuck. I was gonna say a word. I was gonna say hypocrisy, but that doesn't work in the sentence. I wanted to say double cross too, but that doesn't work either. See, this is my other problem. I have too many big words in my little brain. My brain can't produce them properly anymore. Too many big words in my tiny little brain. Also, my tongue doesn't work properly because I can't pronounce things properly. I, like, take shortcuts and shit. See, like, I'm not perfect. No one is. It's really hard to understand that about people, is that no one's perfect and they're individuals among themselves. I think for a long time, even now, kind of sometimes, I say kind of sometimes, but I'm downplaying how much I think about this. I think a lot of people go through that time in their lives where they're not really thinking about the people as people. They're more like NPCs in a video game. Like, you see them and you talk to them, but you don't really think about all the experiences they've had and that they're just as real as you are. And I had a really hard time coming with that because it's so hard to like process that your problems can be people are having the same problems as you, and that can lead to like you getting better. And I had a hard time remembering that. I thought as my person is like, it wasn't like my way of thinking wasn't like, oh, I'm the protagonist and I'm the only one alive. I think a lot of the time I was like, that's kind of how it was, like the world revolves around you, but I never said the world like works around me. I always kind of just thought, okay, this is hard to say. This is hard. When you bring thoughts to words, it's harder than you think. Okay, you should try it sometime. Into some like heated debate with yourself in your brain, and then you try to say it to a YouTube video. It doesn't work very well. But like it's hard to understand people's fuck. I want to say people's strengths, and I want to say people's woes, but that is such a dumb word. I hate the word woe with a W-O-E, not a not a W. I fucking hate it. The reason I say woe is because I was reading in my English class Canterbury Tales for my English assignment, and they say woes a lot. So now that's ingrained in my fucking vocabulary for a little bit, and then it's gonna go away eventually. I want to say plights, but plights isn't a proper word. Plight is kind of like is that? No, plight doesn't work there. I'm looking for a word. See, this is how it is every time. I'm rummaging around the lost and found of words, and I can't find that word that just works perfectly in that sentence. I don't know. Now I'm stumped. Okay, this happens too much. I gotta like write down words or something. people's struggles. There, see, how do I remember woes and I don't remember struggles? um, People's struggles and stuff like that. It's hard to understand those things, especially canon events, as many people are saying now. I'm hip with the kids. Yeah. No, people's like event things that make them who they are. It's hard to kind of understand that. Not is like understanding who they are, but understanding that as like in every person that you ever meet, and how you talk to them and how you treat people. Because I think for a long time how I treated people wasn't as like how I treat myself. I mean, obviously you don't treat people as you treat yourself, because they're not you. But I mean, as in, didn't treat people as people, you know, but not like they're not people. Okay, that's not. They're just like, this is hard. Okay, I'm trying here. I'm grasping at straws and peas. But it wasn't a full person. It was just like personalities. Like I just treated their personalities. I didn't like really respect people's feelings in a way. Like I just thought their feelings were lesser than mine. I don't know. Maybe I had a superiority complex back then. I don't know. Maybe I was going full like God mentality kind of shit. God complex kind of shit. But like, I don't know. Obviously that's very narcissistic to believe, and I guess that is kind of the way I was thinking. Cats are running upstairs. But I don't know. I think I've gone to oh my god. I've gone to appreciate people more, and you know, appreciate people's struggles and what they've gone through the years, and understand, you know, what makes them how they are. And you know, if I can do that, I think I've grown as a person since freshman year. Yeah. I just think I think it came from a place where like I didn't really connect with a lot of people. I'm not saying I'm a weirdo and I don't have any friends or no one understands me. I'm not like that, because I feel like that stupid thing where no one understands me because I'm weird. I play with dead snakes and shit. I mean, I don't play with dead snakes, but that's like a weird trait. Like, I play with dead animals, and like, dude, if you're playing with dead animals, you're kind of weird. You're kind of strange. Work on that, buddy. No. I just find that trope of the weird person, like, not being understood and shit. I mean, it's just, ugh, I don't like it. It's icky to me. It's icky. There needs to be more regular people having complex problems, okay? How about that, huh? You don't need more Narutos and shit. No one understands me. No one understands there's a fox demon inside me. There's a literal demon inside that child. He's a demon child. He's just a kid. No, there's an actual demon inside that child that killed almost the whole village. Oh, make friends. Make friends with him so he's not putting you on the list. I don't know. Sleepy. But I think I made more emotional connections with a lot of people over time. Maybe that's just all I needed. Or maybe I've grown up. Who can say? Who can say that, I've grown up? Maybe everyone else has just regressed. I've been feeling so nostalgic. I mean, I've been saying that it's been very melancholic, but like I've been just remembering like 10 years ago and all that kind of bit. Like it just felt like a different, like, another word that is escaping my grasp. It's like a different atmosphere, like how the world felt to me. Like it always felt more vibrant and cheery, and I mean, I see jokes about that all the time on Instagram, like when you were a kid until now, and it's like really bright and saturated, and then now it's just kind of diluted. But I live in a really small town. I come from nothing, and I've gone to many rich. No, no. I also hate that trope where people are, I've come from a smart town, and I am a big success. I don't like that trope. It's a cool trope though. It gives me hope. But gives you also false hope, which is a lot of things. I think that's what drives, I mean not drives, it gives a lot of people entitlement is, for one, their parents, and for two, I mean, I guess there's three. One, parents, two, experiences. There hasn't been enough punishment in their life, or whatever the word is, I can't remember. You know, God damn it, I just need to remember words. I need to remember them right now. They need to pay for their actions, you know, the consequences. Yeah, they didn't have enough consequences in their life. You know, that happens. I don't think I've had enough consequences either. And the third, I don't remember the third. I focused too much on consequences. Yeah, you know, entitlement, or yeah, and it comes from like TV shows where it shows people trying their very, very hardest and getting what they really, really wanted. And that's what a lot of people think is what happens, is that if you put a lot of effort in something, you get something in return, which isn't always true. That's probably why I am so lazy, is because I didn't put nothing in return, or I didn't put anything in, and I got still stuff out of it. Because when I was a very young child, I was always thought of as a very smart child. I was a very smart child. I just stroked my slong even more. I guess even in 3rd grade I was supposed to skip a grade. I don't think that's true. I don't know where that came from. But I guess I didn't want to skip a grade because I wanted to stay with my friends, which I think I remember that, but I think it was just like someone was like, hey, do you want to skip a grade? If you could skip a grade, would you? And I think I said no. I want to stay with my friends. Which, if I were now, I mean, friends are cool, but like, intelligence is cooler. No, I'm joking. I'd still probably be complacent and lazy. So hard being a professional procrastinator. Yeah, pity me this, pity me that. I never understood why, like, characters in, like, TV shows were like, don't pity me. As a kid, I was always like, oh, like, don't you want people to pity you? I mean, it feels good for people to care about you and tell you that sentiment, but, I think I understand that more now. You know, I think I use this YouTube channel as kind of like a diary. Whenever I'm like feeling down, or I'm thinking about what's gonna happen in the future, I always remember, you know, like if I die, oh, you know, I always try to think of like my last video I uploaded and what people will see, and I'm always like, oh, I don't want that to be my last video, and I want to tell everyone how I feel before that happens, but you know, I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. If it does, hell, hell me. But no, I don't think that's gonna happen. I use this as like my therapy, so I hope you guys are happy. Free therapy for y'all. I mean, I guess you're being a free therapist. If you ever want to be a therapist, join on these videos I make. I always like helping people with their problems. I feel like I don't want to go in like my psychoanalysis kind of shit on myself. This isn't the place. I can do that in my head. I mean, this is my therapy, you know. But it's not. I don't think you guys need to know everything about me, because I'm still a random dude on the internet. You don't need to be catching feels for such a cool guy like me. But I like helping people. Shit. It makes me feel good. Oh fuck. That hurts. And I don't know, feeling needed is always a fun feeling to have. Here I go again, talking too much. What are we at? 40 minutes? Boo! Who's gonna watch this video, huh? Whenever I make a video, or anything, if I ever make anything, I always think of what people will think about it in the future. If I ever make it big, and I have a video like this, no one's gonna want to be my friend. They'll be like, you're fucking weird. Talk about your feelings on the internet. That's supposed to be private, homie. I mean, talking to friends about your feelings, you can only say too much. I mean, what? You can only say so much. But like talking to a silly little audience. I mean, I don't know any of you. If people watch this, I don't know any of you, which makes it easier. Because I'll never meet any of you, at least hopefully not. Ooh. And so it just kind of makes it easy to not be judged as harshly. I mean, people are gonna judge. They're gonna leave hate comments like, "Bro, you cringe as hell." And I really hope that doesn't happen. It's probably gonna suck, but you know, I think friends, they have a different insight on you than just some random guy that shows up randomly on this channel and says, "Oh, you're really gay," because obviously the guy didn't watch the video and he doesn't know how cool and straight I am. Fucking loser. Oh. But yeah, I think I should end the video. Too much sob shit. I'll probably, like 3 years from now, I'll probably be telling you guys, "Ah, guys, I made it. I'm rich. I sold Bitcoin from 2002. I went back in time." I told him, "This is Bitcoin. I'm actually the guy that made Bitcoin." I'm sorry to tell you guys that. I'm actually like 30. I don't know. I'm turning 40 this year. Never mind. I'm like 39. But yeah, it's been a wild ride. If you guys don't see any more videos from me, it's probably because I'm dead. Oh no, no. But yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye.